From a revenue perspective, it's surprisingly probably that red iPhone, but that's not going to move the needle very much. But that's probably from a revenue aspect. The iPad is 8% of revenue. It's going to be down 13% this year. It really doesn't matter. I think from an announcement standpoint, this Clips product, where they're starting to get into filters and auto transcripting, I think that that's more of an indication where Apple's going longer term. That really caught my attention.
And Walter, I wonder, you've got a good perspective on the overall sweep of Apple and the different eras it's been through, where Steve Jobs was sort of trying to point the company as he stepped back just before he died. What do you think of the way Apple has tackled social media? Hasn't done a ton, made a lot of announcements in that area, but this Clips product is either an attempt to become more relevant in social or maybe to get a foothold ahead of augmented reality. What do you think?
Well, I know they would love to get into augmented reality, and that would be fun to see the product they have. Obviously, Clips is great for making short videos. We've seen with Snapchat and everything else how much people like that. But Apple doesn't have an underlying social network that it can use to capitalize on this. It'll be interesting to see if they try once again to do it. One quick story, if I may, because I love the launch of the product Red. As John Fort said a moment ago, it's been more than a decade since they've done that. In my book on Steve Jobs, Bono tells some wonderful stories about the fact that, you know, Steve's first priority wasn't corporate philanthropy, but they had done a deal earlier when Vertigo came out, that wonderful song by U2, and they had created an iPod that was black with a red track wheel just for U2 and Bono. And Bono then did an ad with Apple and then wanted this product Red. One of the things that was a sticking point is Steve said, I just don't want the word Apple in those parentheses. If you look on the screen right now, the screen you're looking at, that's how they solved it 11 years ago. They put product in parentheses and then Red. You'll never see, because Steve Jobs didn't want it, the word Apple in that parentheses.
That is, I think, what we call priceless color, Walter, that only you can deliver.
Well, Bono tells a story even, you know, I have it in the book from Bono.
The legacy lives on.
Yes. Walter, how do you, I mean, Bloomberg's making a lot of this augmented reality push and the idea that they're in this to win it, putting together big teams, thinking of things like spectacles, I guess, for lack of a better word. How seriously do you take it?
You know, I kind of thought Google Glass might work, so I'm the wrong person to ask. I actually got a pair of Google Glass. I watched Snap trying to get into the business, Snapchat, with maybe its own, you know, eyeglasses that take pictures. Apple is a company that knows how to execute well. It'll be interesting to see if two things they can do with this notion of video editing, augmented reality, whatever they want to go into next. One is create a piece of hardware for augmented reality, and secondly, to somehow or another attach it to a social network.
And Gene, do you think this Clips app is heading more in the direction of iLife for social, Apple trying to sort of build apps that enhance the social experience and improve the platform? Or is this something that they're maybe trying to do as part of their services strategy, where eventually they might charge or make revenue some other way for these? Because iAd didn't work. Other efforts that they've made to sort of build out social seem to have fallen somewhat flat.
Yeah, this is, if you really dig into this Clips, it's more about them working with filters and augmented reality. It's really not a competitor to Snapchat, which I originally thought when I read about it, because they don't have an actual network. It's just sharing it with your friends. You can upload it to Instagram and Twitter, for example. And so I think that piece of it is pretty set in stone, that they're still learning about how they can influence AR. Longer term, you just hit it right on the head, is that the significance of augmented reality for Apple is having a place at the table in the future of computing, which will shift to AR, and separately is building their services business. And so what they want to do is have app developers create these wicked great experiences that they can take 30% from. And so that's the longer term profitable significance of what you're seeing in Clips today.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.